Bail was denied. Judge Aaron said, "You better get out of here with this mess." And when I tell you he read, did he fulfilled in this new 11-page bail denial? Baby, he read, did he fulfilled. Y'all, how y'all doing? Well, baby, if you are the rats and roaches in Sean Diddy Combs' jail cell, I know y'all just started crying tears of pain that that mofo was not getting out any earlier, despite having the president of the U.S. trying to put his finger on the scale. Despite, according to the Rolling Stones, actively trying to buy his way to freedom because large amounts of money have exchanged ties between Diddy's camp and the president's camp. Despite all that, Judge Aaron is taking Maureen Comey's advice, and he is doing what he always has done. He is operating without fear or favor. And he's also letting us know that at the end of the day, Diddy, what are you even talking about? He looked at Mark Anelio
Present,
and be like,
and no longer has a voice who will
Stop
pursue
talking,
justice for her
Mark,
accusation.
you just saying words.
As of
Listen
the
now,
taken
let's
against
get into
Diddy,
this because, baby,
no
you
expansion of
cannot
the
make this up.
investigation,
And
no
when I say
isolation
I love
orders,
to see it, baby,
no
we
equipment
love to see
access,
it. Let's
no
get into
suspension
this.
of attorney
Okay,
communication.
so where do we start? This is like Christmas in July, literally. Okay, here we go. First of all, Judge Aaron said from the start it's denied, but for a number of reasons. He said, first of all, your motion is untimely and is procedurally deficient. It's procedurally deficient. Now here, keep in mind motions like this motion was filed 27 days after the ruling exceeding the 14-day limit under Local Rule 49. Again, he didn't even try to meet the required standard. The judge said, you guys, this feel even addressed the proper standard for a motion for reconsideration. Let him alone meet it. Now, why would a team of skilled lawyers, the demon team of 10 lawyers, file a motion 27 days after ruling? Well, I have my own thing. I don't think it's because they didn't know about the deadline. I think it's honestly because they're trying to put anything out in the media that Trump's team can grab onto and use as a reason for a mistrial. Now, keep in mind when it comes to Trump's team, okay, Diddy is actively, according to the Rolling Stones, trying to buy his way out of this. Money is already being, it's already being exchanged. So again, they're not going for anything. They just want a headline that the dummies in the back can be like, oh, well, they filed the motion and now it's unconstitutional. Man, shut up. Anyway, let's keep going. All right, the judge points out there is no new legal or factual basis for reconsideration. They said there's no intervening change in the controlling law. There is no new evidence, there is no clear error, and no manifest injustice. They even cited Virgin Atlantic Airways versus National Mediation, saying a motion for reconsideration Ragnipelio is not intended as a vehicle for eradicating old issues or otherwise taking a second bite of the apple. But again, why are they putting this out here, you guys? Because it's not for the law and the rule. This is for Trump's people to open up a road that they can create reasonable doubt. And the same doubt that the people are like, well, I don't really see Rico. I don't see the violence. When we had a video of her being dragged back, but it doesn't matter. He also said that the mandatory detention applies, and that is it there. He's not even taking it back. He said he quoted Congress, and he said that Congress said the mandatory detention applies to any felony under Chapter 11. That is the Mann Act. It's an automatic it's automatically required that you stay in jail. Now, he did say again, if there are exceptional circumstances, maybe you could get out. But he got up and he said, baby, those exceptional circumstances, get the hell out of here. Ain't nobody coming to hear you seeing Otis. There's nothing exceptional about you. He flatly rejected that. He said the defendant spills much ink, but his arguments are baseless, misleading, and run counter to the clear intent expressed by Congress. Now listen, he dragged him on that one. He basically said, you talking so much, you using a lot of words, Mark Agnelio, but you ain't saying it. He said a criminal conviction, even one the defendant suggests is novel, is a far cry from the types of exceptional reasons that are cited. Prior similar cases involved less violent, less persistent, and more cooperative. What do we mean by more cooperative? Y'all remember that hidden cell phone? The feds raided Diddy's thing and say, yo, if you got any other evidence, electronic devices or whatever, you need to pass those along under this search warrant and court order. Diddy found the cell phone. He did not give it up. He called KK and said, yo, I think I got some evidence, right? The evidence turned out to be a nothing burger to help Diddy. But the whole thing is the feds were like, yo, give us a cell phone. Diddy refused to get the cell phone. He cited employee-client privilege. He cited this. He cited that. At the end of the day, the judge had to give an actual order that he hand the phone over. Again, Diddy has been trying to not cooperate with the court
and no
as
longer
much as
has a
possible.
voice who will pursue
Again,
justice for her
cases that Mark
accusation.
Agnelio is showing
As of the
involve
taken
less
against
violent,
Diddy,
less persistent,
no
and
expansion
more
of the
cooperative
investigation,
defendants.
no
And get
isolation
this,
orders,
he also said,
no
Diddy,
equipment
we don't
access,
care how
no
uncomfortable
suspension
you are
of
in the
attorney
MDC,
communication.
those conditions do not justify release. Again, the fact that Judge Aaron said, I looked into it and staffing and medical care improvements at NDFC have gone so much more since that January 2024 Chabas decision have increased greatly. They said the MDC has been very responsive to us. The MDC gave us good access to Diddy. Don't forget that the MDC actually bent over backwards to make sure that Diddy could get there earlier and stay later. He got special treatment in court, but he didn't think that was enough. And again, he also said that Diddy never claimed that he was personally harmed in the. He said the motion is devoid of any claims that the defendant himself was impacted in any way by those conditions. I would go one step forward and say, wasn't Diddy floating things that he was a hero? He was a celebrity in the MDC when he came back. He got a standing ovation because everybody was like, wow, I can't believe you did it. What happened, Diddy? I thought according to you, you was running that jail. Was that more PR spin, or were you lying then, or are you lying now? More importantly, Judge Aaron goes to say he is still a danger to the community. He said that Diddy even admit it. He said the defense full-throatedly in its closing argument told the jury that there was violence here and domestic violence is violence. He said this type of violence, which happens behind closed doors, is impossible to police with conditions. And that's true because nobody even knew what he did to Jane. And the thing is, I know people don't want to believe it. The odds are that if you are abusive to one, you are abusive to all. It takes is the right circumstances and you too. And the fact that you are so good at hiding it, so good at mitigating it, so good at having your employees help cover up, it's impossible to control that even if we have conditions of bail. Again, he talked about the assault on Cassie, Jane, Mia, and others, and the detailed description of Jane's 2024 beating, choking, punching, dragging, black-eyed waltz. And he also said that Diddy is attempting to rewrite history. He said the defense raised the conditions at the MDC, but stated the opposite of what they now claim. Doing so would take a second bite at the apple. Again, he quoted so much legal standards. If you guys are interested, again, there's a mandatory detention after conviction of Mann Act felony. Okay, it did fell under what they define as crimes of violence against, includes Mann Act felonies. There's local criminal rules. The 14-day deadline for reconsideration has passed, and in United States, via being a first-time offender or student is not exceptional, and there is a strict standard for reconsideration. Again, you guys listen, I'm going to go live later to talk about this, but Judge Aaron read Diddy down, spills much ink explaining why, but his arguments are baseless and misleading, fails to meet or even address the proper standard. Defendant suggesting otherwise, relying on defunct policies is inaccurate and misleading, fails to present any reason, and this should be swiftly rejected, and the defendant cannot now claim that there was an intervening change. Doing so would relitigate old issues. Y'all listen. Shout out to Judge Aaron and the federal prosecutors for speaking truth to power and saying, we don't care what this administration, what will or plan to do right now. If it's under our watch, we're going to do what's right. Now what happens after that, they don't have any control of, but they are standing in truth to power. You guys, this is great news. I'm going to go live later and talk about that rolling article. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.